From Kim copying her wedding look for Dolce & Gabbana's party, to the family's toxicity finally getting to the oldest Kardashian, here's why Kourtney Kardashian wants to separate herself from the rest of the Kardashians. Yep, you heard that right. Kourtney claims she'd be better off away from her family. It might come as a surprise to some, but those of us who know better have also known for a long time that she deserves better. She's had her diva moments too, but fans are picking up on how the rest of the family treats her like trash. For a family that tries so hard to keep up appearances, the cracks are starting to show, and Kourt's had enough. Okay, but why now, right? Run with me on this. It's pretty common for sisters to sport similar outfits, right? It's supposed to be a sweet sentiment, but where do you draw the line? Like, where does it become uncomfortable and disrespectful? Well, for the oldest Kardashian sister, she drew the line when her sister copied her wedding dress for a Dolce & Gabbana party just months after. Everything was going beautifully for Kourtney and Travis Barker. They got hitched at a Las Vegas chapel and officially married in a courthouse in Santa Barbara. Then they flew all the way to Portofino, Italy, to celebrate with their friends and family, where she wore a custom-made Dolce & Gabbana wedding dress. It was a white corseted mini dress with lace detailing, lace heels, tulle gloves, and a gorgeous cathedral-length veil that had Virgin Mary and family loyalty respect embroidered onto it. The dramatic veil was an ode to her husband's head tattoo that represented the gardens of Portofino with its white lace flowers. Their venue was none other than L'Olivetta, the Dolce & Gabbana glamorous villa. The extravagant Kardashian-Barker wedding was all the buzz until Kim's partnership with the luxury designer brand soon after. The feud started well before the designer's runway show, Alta Moda, but everything went up in flames when Kim sported the black Dolce & Gabbana dress. Kourt was furious when her sister took over all the attention from her special day. She was seen crying to Kendall Jenner about the whole thing, saying that Kim wasn't even happy on her wedding day. When everyone else couldn't help but talk about how amazing it was, Kim clapped back, calling her sister a hater. It's almost like the most popular one of the Kardashian-Jenner clan can't share the spotlight with any of her sisters. She has to outshine everyone else. Let me tell you a little more about the dress that's breaking a family apart. Dolce & Gabbana designed a corseted black dress with gold boning and a very dramatic black lace veil that covered her body. She also wore sheer black gloves and a huge gold necklace with red gemstones around a sunburst design. Even if Kim didn't have anything to do with the design, it's hardly a coincidence. Some fans called out Kourt, saying she was overreacting and that it's the designer's decision. Yeah, okay, I get that. But don't you think her sister should have given her a heads up about it? Like, would you be okay if I wore something inspired by your wedding gown from just a few months ago? I don't think Kourtney's anger is misplaced at all, because there have been much worse fights between the sisters. You do know that they got into physical fights before, right? On season 18 of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, the sisters were seen lunging at one another and having a full-blown fight. It all began when Kendall, Kourtney, and Kim were having a discussion about Kylie being too sick to fly out to Paris to attend a fashion show. Kim was talking about how she'd never miss a work commitment, no matter how sick she'd get, that even if she was on her deathbed, she'd get out of it and show up, while Kourtney doesn't care enough about stuff. And bam! That's when Kourt blew up on her sister. She clapped right back, saying that Kim has a narrative of her not doing anything at all before the two got into a yelling match and tried to beat each other to a pulp. And of course, we can't forget the first time we saw Kim behaving that way, when she swung her purse at Khloe during a very early season of the show, yelling, "Don't be fucking rude!" Yikes. Looks like someone needs help with their anger management. It runs in the family, though. They're almost always yelling, fighting, and cussing one another out. It's one thing to be frustrated with your family, but it's a whole other story when you make a business empire out of it. Over the 1.5 decades that the family's been on reality TV, the overwhelming message being drilled to the viewers is that family comes first. I'm not so sure about that anymore, because the one priority that seems to overtake that is growing the Kardashian-Jenners' multi-billion-dollar businesses. As of 2023, the clan's combined fortune goes over $2 billion, and it just keeps getting bigger. It's as if they nurture their work more than their own blood ties. The reality TV show was packaged to look like a family show, but it's clear that it did a lot more than that, like promoting the sisters' clothing boutiques and endorsement deals. It also helped them with launching several makeup and clothing brands, as well as wellness, skincare, and alcohol brands. Although Kourtney has gained loads of benefits to her businesses, she's also had enough of their insane, money-chasing work ethics. Fans can see that the clan's obsession with fame and money is tearing them apart. Kourt's never shied away from calling the rest of the fam out, but it took her too long to say that she was fed up with her mother and sister, and while Kris Jenner is working harder than the devil to grow her family's business empire, she's also instilling unhealthy work ethics into her children. Kourtney has decided to walk away and do things better. If anything, her mother has been the main force behind their success, and if it wasn't for her, they wouldn't be where they are today. Still, signing up their personal lives for public consumption and allegedly leaking even more private, videotapes to the press is way too much when that's not even the worst of it. And I totally support Kourt's willingness to cut off her family. Again, referring to the recent Dolce feud between the sisters, Kim apparently capitalized off of her sister's Portofino wedding to lock down a business deal that she used to try to outdo her gown. It's a shady thing to do, there's no doubt about that. But Kim defends herself and says that her sister was being petty and that she shouldn't be upset because she found an opportunity for personal and financial gain. She also says that Kourt should have been more supportive of her career, but fans agree that's a selfish perspective and that she should have been more compassionate about her sister's feelings. So, maybe the constant drama and toxicity are not the only issue, but their unfair treatment of the Poosh founder is. I can go on and on about the family drama here, and I'm sure there's so much more we don't know. But what we do know is that Kourt gets treated the worst out of everyone. How bad can it be? It's pretty bad. Anyone that's watched the reality show can see it. Kourtney often gets left behind or ganged up on for the pettiest reasons. They can't go more than a little while without starting a fight with her, and even if some fans might think she's mean, others believe her reactions are justified. She could only handle so much before she'd snap. What's worse is the speculation surrounding her parents' divorce. Although she's never made any direct comments, fans have been noticing a huge difference in her demeanor towards Kris and her late father, Robert Kardashian. Being the oldest child comes with its challenges, and the hardest one to bear is remembering everything the young ones have forgotten. Fans speculate that Kourt may have witnessed a lot of difficult times, seeing her parents fight or her mother going out with strange men. Who knows? Only she would. And that may be the main reason behind her negative energy towards her mother. Oh well, while being the oldest child should come with some respect, we see a severe lack of it for Kourtney from her siblings. Regardless of everything that's happened, I still think Kris would find some way to hash it all out and keep the clan together till the end of times. Or maybe Kourtney divorcing her family is the first domino piece to fall over. So, from the family's toxicity finally getting to the oldest Kardashian to Kim copying her wedding look for Dolce & Gabbana's party, that's why Kourtney Kardashian wants to separate herself from the rest of the Kardashians.